Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we'll be going through the Calamity Tower tier list guide. So 1 year ago, I posted a Calamity Tower guide, right? It's like going through like the single tower, double tower, and also the triple tower as well. Then after that, they haven't updated the Calamity Tower at all. But now they updated the single squad. As you can see here, I don't really clear the single squad. It's because but in real life time, sometimes it's too busy. I can't go online on Dislyte too long. Or maybe I'm busy making content for Dislyte, like going for the test server, testing out stuff. I don't have time to clear it. But today we're gonna have an updated guide with the updated Esper as well for all the Inferno, Wind, Flow, and also including the Shimmer Tower as well. So we're gonna make a brand new tier list for it, including all the updated Esper, and hope this helps out the player who needs this guide. Alright, so before that, special thanks to King AZ and also Joy Alma for making this tier list out guide, because they are the few player that hit all the top in the leaderboard. As you can see here that I'm posting right now, they are like the top tier at their elemental tower, so they already figured out which is the best Esper and also their own tier list as well. So now let's take a look, and the first one we're going through is going through the Wind Tower. Alright, so let's take a look here. The Wind Tower one, this is based on the updated Esper and also the tower up to 360 floor. So this is the final conclusion they get. And this Esper here, which is Camille and also Yushu, you're gonna be R4 to R6 required, which is pretty much R6 as well. Because you need R6, Yushu needs the R6 to work. And then this Esper here, if they are R2 optimal. So for example, Yunchuan here, the R2 will make him able to assist with his dog. And Feng Shun here will able to let him provide all the buff and also the AP push when he casts S3, and then Tang Chen here will have the assist chance. So these three Esper here will be the R2 optimal. Then the rest here, these are the Esper that is the best in slot for your Wind Tower. Alright, so Archibald, one of the best Esper you're gonna fight, you're gonna use after. It's already good at beginning, just that it'll be even better when you reach until like after 260 floor. There's gonna be like double Pharah stage, and Archibald is one of the best counter against the Pharah, and she's a very good Esper that can deal HP percentage damage and also make them forced to use their S1 only, so you can have a very safe environment to deal damage in your Wind Tower. Then Sienna here, because of the stun, because of the AP clear, is very strong, and also the buff as well. Also the speed leader for the Wind Esper, and also the CD cooldown for the Wind Esper as well. Then Pharah will be your controllers and your DPS as well, because in your tower content you want a lot of control. Then Pharah can fulfill the control condition and also the DPS condition. Armir, because tower content they have like wave, so one of the king of wave Esper, Armir here will help you a lot in your tower, and also Armir provide you disease, which also helps a lot if you're fighting certain floor that they actually heals a lot. Then Pharah, the reason why Pharah here is pretty good is because Pharah damage overall is still very high, and also the speed on Pharah is actually making Pharah a lot more consistent damage. So you can like S3 nuke and then S1 to boost up her S3 buff, and Sienna here can like help her to reduce her cooldown faster and nuke again. Then Ophelia here is also one of the best in slot for the DPS, because Ophelia here, if you have her at R6, not R6 as well, if you have her at R6, she can help you clear the wave instantly, because her S3 will just keep on resetting as long as she kills a target. And in terms of non-R6, her single target damage is also very high. It's a very good DPS overall for your Wind Tower. Then Suizai. So if you want Suizai to help you solo one floor, it's also doable. As long as you have a R6 Suizai, you can just put him inside in one team. He can help you do all the job. But if you're not R6, then he will need to build a proper team around, like not making him solo. But overall, he's a very consistent damage dealer because of the counter attack. He deals like the passive. It's a very unique passive because it will limit their healing as well, and his damage is very strong. He won't get debuff, and you have self-healing. Long Mian, because in Wind Tower there's not many choice of speed Esper, right? And the speed Esper have to require control effect. So for example, Sienna here have a control effect for it as well. Lapis doesn't have, so it doesn't count. Then Longmin is one of the few Esper that have speed leader buff and also AoE control effect. So Longmin is going to be one of your best speed leader plus CC as well. Then Wenlock here is very good for your for his dispel, and then for your crit rate up, crit damage buff, and also the extra damage. It will help a lot. Okay, so this will be the best in slot for your Wind Tower. Then we have the other Esper here, like for example, Fumisuki, Nora, Jinchu, one of the few best DPS Esper slot, Hall as a sub DPS, Yamato as a very good controller and also the leader buff, Li Guang for the AP push and also the DPS. Ashley, surprisingly, right? So Ashley here is also a pretty good sub DPS because if you want to AP down the target and also do some extra damage, Ashley is a pretty good choice. Then Gabriel for the immunity and also the AoE defense break. Louis here for extra damage. Then Nathaniel here is pretty he's also actually very good, like he can go up to S rank, but you need to manual by yourself. Of course, you want your Nathaniel to go until the boss stage and cast S3, he can probably kill the whole tower, the whole wave by himself. But it requires you to not cast your S3 at the early stage. Then we have the other Esper here, then you can just go through the tier list. But most of the time, you're gonna use these few Esper that's on top here. So let's take a look at the team comp build. So there's a few team comp here. I'm gonna go through one by one. So this build here is more free to play because you have a controller here. Every team comp here, you're gonna need at least 1 to 2 controller and 2 to 3 DPS. So Longmian here as a speed leader and also controller. Hall can be your sub DPS. Fabrice be your buffer. And then Louis and Li Guang will be your main DPS. So this is a very free to play team. Or you can go take a look this one here. This is a more consistent damage because you have a R6 issue here dealing damage. Meredith here will do damage and also heal. Loyan here will help you fasten the speed as well because Loyan have a max HP reduction. Okay, then this is another team example. We have Sienna here as an AP down unit and also a speed leader buff. Yun Chuan here as a sub buffer and also a sub DPS. Feng Shun here as a sub buffer, as a main buffer and a sub DPS. Hall here as a sub DPS, Yushu here as a DPS. So this is a very consistent team as well. And this is another team example. It's going to be Sienna as a speed leader for the AP control. Wenlock here as a buffer and dispeller and also passive damage dealer. And Feng Shun here will be your main DPS and also a main buffer. Camille here is going to be your main DPS as well. And Ashley here will be your sub DPS Esper. Then this team here is going to be more stupid if you have a Nathaniel that is high reso. So you can just go for Yamato, Meta Yin Chuan and Nathaniel here. Because they are defender, it will be easier stack to get for your Nathaniel. And you want to save your Nathaniel nuke until the boss wave and you cast S3 and the boss wave will just instantly get clear. So this is also one team for it if you really want to go for it. And then the last one here is going to be Suicide. So if you have a Suicide that's high reso, especially at R6, Suicide can help you solo pretty much the whole team as well. Yeah, just by himself. You don't need any other teammate to build for it. But all these Esper here can be replaced by your own choice. For example, you have Archibald, and then maybe you're facing double Farah. Maybe you can take one knockdown and put in Archibald. So it's just some example team comp. You can go take it as a reference. Alright, then let's take a look at the next one. Alright, the next one here is for the Inferno Tower. So Inferno Tower here, this Esper, like normal, Fushi and Elif here requires R4 to R6. So of course, a normal R6 will help you nuke the Esper very easily. Fushi R6 will make you call in Embla, and Elif here, the assist damage is a lot damage. Alright, then R2 optimal because you want a Brewster here to have the bullet at the start of the combat. Then you want Embla here to have the AoE bleed bloom damage. And then Changji here is for the HP swap. Okay, then the best in slot is gonna be like Prisker because speed leader buff and also the AoE control and CD up. Yuhimi speed leader buff and also the damage and also HP reduction and also AP down. Then Suje extra the true DPS here. The true damage DPS as outside of a turn is one of the best damage dealer you can have. Sachiko here because her passive deals extra damage, like 10% extra increase, and also help you cool down your Esper. Then Lucas here is one of the best controller in Inferno because of the AP down, very consistent AP down, AP absorb, and also stun. Abigail here, one of the best for Inferno, a buffer as well because she can reset the Esper of the S3 of her S3 and then can also cooldown reset if I'm not mistaken, or CD reset, I forgot, for the Inferno Esper. And Sakura here, one of the best in slot for your healer and buffer. Then Clara here is for your healer and also AP pusher. This will be the best in slot. But in terms of DPS, the best in slot here I think is somewhere like Yuhime and Sujie, and then the rest one is all here, like Brewster, Embla, Ili, Fushi, and Nama. Then the rest here is more about support, like Abigail support, Sakura support, Clara support. Then S rank will be Meta Liling. Zhou Hong is actually very good here because Zhou Hong is only bad when he's dealing bosses, but in Inferno Tower, most of them can get applied by Zhou Hong's overtime stack, and once you have the overtime stack, he can actually start nuking the target. So overall, Zhou Hong is actually a very good target, very good unit to use in the Inferno Tower. Then we have the other Esper here, you can go take it as a reference, and then yeah, overall these are the good ones. So why Yujing is at a B rank? Because Yujing doesn't have Lu Shang, and once she doesn't have Lu Shang, she's kind of useless in a way. Okay, then yeah, so this will be the Inferno tier list, and you can see Li Ling is here as well because Li Ling have a AoE AP absorb from his S3, and his S2 can CD down for his S3, and he can just keep rotating. Chloe as a AoE damage, JV here for the splash damage and the debuff damage as well. So this will be the Inferno tier list, and now let's take a look at some team comp. Alright, so this team here will be more free to play because we have Falcon here providing the speed leader buff, and then he also provide additional damage. Then Priska here as your main controller, then Lucas here as your main controller as well. Then Adrena have sub DPS and also control in her hit. Then Chloe will be your main DPS. So this is a more free to play team, but you'll always notice that in tower content you're gonna need at least 1 to 2 controller. Alright, then Falcon as a leader buff and also extra damage. Then Priska here as your controller, Sander here for single target controller and also sub DPS, Drew here for your main DPS, and Sachiko here for your buffer unit and also CD reduction. So with Sachiko combo with Priska, you can always maintain the enemy on stun, and then Falcon here will always gather the damage from his Eye of Horus, and then we have Drew here to final clear the wave with his S3. Then this is another team. So let's say you have Yuhime here as providing the speed leader buff and also AP down as a main DPS or sub DPS and with HP reduction. And then we have Priska here as a main controller, Lucas here also your controller, and then we have Embla as a main DPS with Sachiko here can rotate Yuhime and Embla very often, and with Embla providing the corrupted seed, Yuhime and Lucas and Priska can proc the corrupted seed very easily because they have multi-hit. Then another example here will be Yuhime plus Clara. So Clara will be your AP pusher plus shield Esper. Then we have Fushi Embla as the best nuke combo. We have Sujie here providing extra true damage, and Sujie can apply puppet art on the target to make them not able to cast their other skill and other than S1. And we have Yuhime here for the control because Yuhime here have AP down. So the AP down is actually a very consistent AP control skill. Then the next one is going to be Sachiko. So Sachiko as providing the attack leader buff. Then we have Sakura providing buff and also extra damage. We have Nama as the main DPS, and then we have Clara and Abigail. So this team comp here is surrounding around Nama. So Clara apply buff to Nama, Abigail apply buff to Nama, Sakura apply buff to Nama, Sachiko also provide buff to Nama. Then Nama will keep getting buff, and every time he get buff, he'll get stacked, and when he reach amount of stack, then he'll cast S3 nuke for free. So this is the team comp surrounding around Nama, but you need like R4 to R6 Nama to make 6 work. And then the last one will be Meta Liling. So Meta Liling here providing a very high attack leader buff, and then we have Fushi Embla nuke combo. Then you're gonna need 2 Esper for you to maintain the stun. So we have Lucas here as a multi dealer and also can AP control them. Liling here also can AP control them. Then we have Adrena here to AP control them. So if you don't want to use Adrena, you can also change into Priska, cause all of them have multi-hit, will proc the Embla seed a lot more easily and just nuke the team. Alright, then now let's take a look at the next tower. Okay, so the next tower here will be a flow tower. So flow tower here we have Donna, which require around R4 to R6. Ethan here requires R2 because at the start of combat, Ethan can instantly apply his special buff to everyone if he has an R2. Then the main unit you're gonna use is like TA because of the speed leader buff and the controller. Jiangman, because of the AoE nuke, it's a very consistent damage. Leora, because in tower there's like wave content and Leora will always reset her skill, so Leora is also a very good combo with Jiangman. So like Jiangman apply the Nether Bloom on them, then Leora just damage them and it will actually proc the seed. Then Hilda, the best in slot for controller and also DPS, because she can control them to sleep, and the poison will also damage them through Hilda. Hilda can be just like a one team unit, and the rest here just like sub DPS. Lushang, best in slot for buffer as a supporter. Slon here, one of your main DPS as well. Chu Yao, because of his assist and the AoE dispel and AoE debuff. Then Gaius here is also one of the best in slot for DPS because of his nuke. Okay, then the next one would be like Liam here for your sub DPS and a buffer. Dahlia for AP push and buffer, Parmin for consistent control, Yuran for consistent control, Phantom Sister for control and also heal. Mona here, so why Mona is here is because Mona plus Jiangman is actually a very toxic combo in Flow Tower. And then we have Bidao here for like more debuff combo and control combo, but you have to pair like with Hilda. Then the rest here, you can notice that they are not really a very good support DPS, or maybe not a very good unit. Maybe Intisa can go up to one tier higher in my opinion, but this is the tier list made by them. So the reason why Momo is here is because Momo is dealing true damage, and in Flow Tower, their HP is like ridiculously high, so the true damage value here isn't that high. Then like other healer Esper here, we don't really need it because we have a better Esper that can just keep on making them control and do DPS. So now let's take a look at some team comp. Alright, so for the Flow free-to-play team example, we have Parami as a speed leader with a consistent sleep or stun debuff. We have Dahlia here for the AP push and the buff, Kara here for the poison damage, and we have the Jiangman Mona combo for the burst damage. So this is the more free-to-play team combo. Then we're gonna have like if you don't have Parami, if you don't want to use Parami, you can also use Ira, because Ira have a very consistent AP down and also will AP push your team with her buff. Then we have KD here for control effect. Then if you have some legend, so we have like Chu Yao here for the speed leader buff for AoE dispel and defend break, seer debuff, all these things. And then we have Leora here for AoE damage, we have Slon here for AoE damage, we have Hilda here for the control effect, and we have Lushang here to buff up your team just by putting her accentuated buff. Then we can go for TA for speed leader buff and also AP control, Hilda for control and also poison debuff, Jiangman and Mona combo with Lushang damage boost. Or you can go for TA, then Ethan here for damage buff, Yuran here for more consistent sleep buff and also free assist, Donna and Gaius for AoE nuke. So these are some of the example. Or you can go for Chu Yao, Liam here will go, and your main DPS will be Jiangman. So Jiangman with Liam will go assist for Jiangman, Chu Yao will assist for Jiangman. So the main DPS output is from Jiangman's Nether Bloom. Then we have Kara poison damage, and we have Bidao here to apply more debuff and also control effect. So he will be the CC unit for this team. So basically this is for the Flow type, and now let's take a look at the last one, the Shimmer. Okay, so this is for the Shimmer Tower tier list. So Shimmer Tower 1, we won't recommend any team comp because the Shimmer Tower 1 really depends on what Shimmer you have, right? So it's not like the other elemental Esper is that easily built. So the Shimmer Tower 1 is based on what you have, but there is a tier list. So R2 optimal, of course Moriyama here, you want the Moriyama to have the attack up at the start of the combat, and you want the AP push for Moriyama himself. So R2 is where the optimal reso for Moriyama. You can also use him in R0 if you want. Then the EX. So Unas here is because of his AP push, is very strong here, and also if you have him in R2, it will also provide you attack up buff. Pandora, because of her kit, the Pandora box here can do HP percentage damage and also stun. Uday here, if you have her, she can help you CD reset on certain unit, and also dispel and also AP buff, so attack up buff. Then Champion, the best buffer you can have. Mingxuo, one of the best AoE nuker you can have. Raven for extra easier clear for the wave content. And then Taver, one of the best DPS nuke you can have. And Anna here, if you really want to brain dead to clear the content, because most of the tower doesn't have a multi-hit, but sometimes you might actually see like Genie for example as a multi-hit Esper. Then maybe you might change Anna down to other Esper, or maybe use Taver to one-shot the Genie, or maybe use Mingxuo to let him take many turns until he can ignore 100% of the defense and instantly nuke them. Then for the S rank, here are some of the Esper you can go for, like Iki for the disease or some passive damage. For example, if you meet the stage 4 Genie, then you can use Iki to apply the disease, or maybe you can go for Tiger Mummy to apply the disease, because some tower here you're gonna need disease debuff. And for Shimmer Esper here, not many Esper of them have disease, so Tiger Mummy went to S rank. Yishua here is because of the buff and also invincibility buff, at least here for the buff and also assist. Everett for 100% crit, Tiger Mummy for disease, Iki for disease, Petros for countering, like for example, if Ollie, for example, the enemy, then Petros can counter the Ollie buff pretty easily. Nusi here is pretty good for the CD extend, Esena for the AP push. Then Yalina here is for the seer, and also like whenever they get like the healing affecting, then Yalina will do damage. Then the rest of the other Esper here, they are not really a very good choice for your Shimmer tower. But the reason why Wuyu is this low rank is because in terms of the Shimmer legend here, right, there's no defender for us to actually pick, to actually put Wuyu in. So if you have Wuyu, let's say you have R0 Wuyu, and you want Wuyu to actually work, you need defender, but you have no defender for your team, so you can't make Wuyu work. It will take a very long time to let Wuyu break dance, or very long time to make Wuyu. So let's say you put Wuyu herself in one team, then every time Wuyu will only cast S1. Then that's not really that good. And if you put Wuyu inside a team, then she need 10 times of getting hit to let her activate the breakdance. So it's not going to be very consistent, not very that good, because we don't have other defender Esper here. So that's the reason why we put Wuyu at C rank. So overall, for the Shimmer tower, you should be looking at the Moriyama, and the EX one will be this one Esper here and the S rank. Most probably with this few Esper is already able to help you clear the Shimmer tower. But in the end of the day, it still depends on what Shimmer you have for this. Alright, so that's all for this updated Calamity Tower tier list. So hope this one actually help you guys out, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JNMP, Epic Bullet Boy, Sky Elk, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwatts, Rimu, Chani, Antonio Winterspoon, Emu Kragan, Calamity, Rocco Senzions, Jordan Alons, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wardeners, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chani. Thank you so much for your support.